Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just to let you know, I have 3 people here at the Sally Port and on the bench for about 2 hours. Whenever
I'm
you're
so
ready,
sorry. I need to fall asleep.
Ashley Smith, what are you doing in bed? You're supposed to be in court.
I'm so sorry. I need to fall asleep.
Well, everybody's probably sleepy, but you're in court today. Are you sick or just sleepy?
No, I'm just not doing okay. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Give me just a moment. Smith, have you talked to your attorney, Mr. Patterson?
I have
So what is your condition this morning?
delirium and dementia and epilepsy, and I'm just not doing. I'm not doing so great.
Do you need to see a doctor?
I don't have a doctor appointment until October when I go to KU neurology.
Do you maybe need to go to the emergency room?
No,
You need to have an ambulance come and care for you?
no, I do not.
Your Honor,
Is Mr. Patterson available?
He just went in a breakout room with Mr. Canfield.
and Your Honor, and that was what I had previously indicated. It would appear that there is no order appointing counsel in the file with respect to Mr. Patterson. The state might respectfully suggest it would be appropriate to wait before Mr. Patterson joins the Zoom conference before taking this matter up.
I apologize. I did not mean to fall asleep.
Well, I would agree, but if she needs medical care, she needs medical care. If she doesn't, then
I don't need any medical care. I'm just crazy.
all right. Well, I'm going to let you blacken your screen and do what you need to do. I don't normally let people go to bed and have court from bed, but we'll talk to Mr. Patterson about your condition here in a bit. If you want to leave the screen for now. All right. Who do we need to take up next? Is there any other defense attorney here? Any other defense attorney? All right, let's take up. How about Luginbill? Dale Eugene Luginbill, are you here? Will be on the record in 2024 CR 121, State of Kansas versus Dale Eugene Luginbill. Jared Regier appearing for the state. Jared Regier for the state. The defendant leaves a message, Mr. Regier, today, July the 15th. He called at 9:56, apparently just a few minutes ago, and said he thought tomorrow was the 15th. He just woke up. He will log on to court. He would get on Zoom. Looks like Destiny Bolin clerk gave him the Zoom codes. She tried to, but he didn't have a pen or anything to write it down with. He was going to get on the website. I don't know which website. The clerk told him again he needed the codes to get on here, and he said he'd call back for them and hung up. So I'm thinking bench warrant and bond forfeiture, unless he decides to somehow track down the codes and get on here with us.
Your Honor,
Like he has a bond.
Your Honor, based off my notes, it would appear that there was an earlier first appearance which my colleague, Mr. Canfield, was on back in May, where the court did enter certain orders, including that the defendant be specifically ordered to appear at the Sally Port for purposes of today's hearing. It looks like based on the notes, there may have been certain technical issues at that time. Additionally, I am showing a jail affidavit in my file, which would appear to indicate, quote, that as of July 3rd, 2024, the defendant failed to report to the Butler County Detention Facility as directed by the court to be processed and released. So with that being said, the state would respectfully defer to the court as to how it wishes to proceed in light of the prior orders and the jail affidavit, which I am showing in my file.
Deputy Caulfield, did you have anything you wanted to say on this? Before I make
I
my.
was just going to say he is not here at the Sally Port.
Thank you for adding that. Well, at this time, it looks like every hearing he's had something going on. I'm going to order no bond hold, and next appearance must be in person, live at the courthouse. Put that on his bond too.
And Your Honor, is that a bench warrant or bench warrant bond forfeiture? Again, I am showing a jail affidavit, which would appear to indicate the defendant failed to report to the Butler County Detention Facility as
Yeah,
directed.
it's just a bench warrant with a no bond hold and a recommendation that if any judge sets a bond when he appears, that they make him appear at the courthouse. So final call for Dale Eugene Luginbill. He fails to appear, so bench warrant, no bond hold.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Moving on.
Your Honor, he just logged on.
I'm sorry.
He just logged on. He's joining now.
All right. Now I got the codes. All right, I'm not going to show you here, Mr. Luginbill, until you start your. Actually,
Excuse me, what'd you say?
we're on the record in 2024 CR 121, State of Kansas versus Dale Eugene Luginbill, County Attorney Jared Regier for the state, defendant in person via Zoom. Mr. Luginbill, you were supposed to be here at 9 o'clock. You've just logged on at 10:05. And on May 5th, Judge Crum saw you and told you to appear in person at the courthouse. Why aren't you at the courthouse?
I thought it was tomorrow. I've been talking to attorneys. There is no way I can afford an attorney. There's a lot more money.
How did you? Okay, sir, but why aren't you at the courthouse? You're in violation of Judge Crum's orders.
I thought tomorrow was the 15th. I was positive of it.
How did you figure out today was the 15th?
I asked my phone what today's date was, and it said the 15th. I said, oh my God.
And your phone, but your phone did confirm that it was the 15th.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, good for your phone. Now, why did you violate Judge Crum's other order and not go out and set a $2,000 bond?
Well, I tried to, but the naps come up and covered it. He didn't have no sound. I couldn't hear what he's saying because there's no sound either way. He wrote a note and told me, and I pushed back up to delete it, and it hung up. And I've been having vehicle problems. I haven't had a vehicle in 2 months. I got it going now. Pardon me?
Maybe, sir, maybe I can solve your problems. I can have an officer go pick you up and bring you to jail and keep you there until we get these hearings taken care of. They can feed you, they can air condition you, they can give you a nice bed to sleep in, and they can make sure that you don't miss court.
Yes, ma'am. I apologize for missing court. I swear to God, if I knew it was today, I've got my truck going. I bought another junk truck and I took parts off of it.
Sir, you have got more excuses.
No,
May
ma'am.
15th,
No, ma'am.
we told you you had to appear and you hung up because you
I
wanted to
did
schedule your
not
court,
hang up. I
sir.
pushed
Let me
back
talk.
up on the phone and tried to get rid of the app that was covering the picture, and it hung up.
Let me talk to you a minute and you listen. May 15th of 2024, you called and said you needed to reschedule your court date. And you were told that at that last minute, you couldn't do that. You had to appear. So you hung up on the clerk. Then you
No, I
did come in May 15th. I don't think it was in person, but you were in front of Judge Crum, and he told you that you had a $2,000 OR bond if you went out and posted it, and you didn't do it.
I'm going to do it today. I swear I
He
will.
told you to do it on the 15th of May. This is July the 15th. That's 2 months later. And then he also told you to show up here at the courthouse live on the 15th. And you didn't do that either. And you said you wouldn't be here today at all if your phone hadn't told you to.
I thought it was tomorrow. I swear to God I did.
You
Ma'am,
called
I
the
didn't
clerk
want
this
no
morning.
trouble.
Well, I'm still talking. You called the clerk this morning and you gave the clerk that you thought it was the 15th, that you just woke up at 10 o'clock, not at 9 o'clock when you're supposed to be here.
I woke up at 10:09 and I called an attorney, and they want $5,000 to represent me. I need the court to appoint an attorney.
Well, you should have told Judge Crum that back on May 15th. But
I
then
did
when the
not
clerk
know that.
tried, sir, you're going to have to listen to me when I talk. When the clerk told you you needed the Zoom codes for today, you didn't have a pen or anything, and you just hung up on her again. You said you'd call back and hung up. So I've got to do something here to get your attention.
You got my attention. I did not hang up. I would not do that. I pushed back up to get rid of the ad on my phone, and it hung up. I don't like phones. I don't do none of this shit.
Well, your phone did you a favor by telling you were late for court. You'd missed it.
No, the clerk did. I called to
And
find
it
out what
hung
time
up
court
when-
was tomorrow.
All right. Well, we've got a real problem. Do you see that?
Yep. Yes, ma'am.
And you weren't here when I called your case, and now I've got a bench warrant for you, so I can get you a ride real quick. Are you at home?
No, I'm not. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I could make it down there today. I got the gas. I bounced my checking account Friday to get gas for this tomorrow. I did not know. I don't get paid till the 20th, and I'm already $800 overdrafted.
Well, you made a good decision to change your lie when you said you weren't home, because I figured you were. So it was good that you quickly changed your mind to tell the truth. But we've got a real problem here. Mr. Regier, what do you recommend we do?
Well, Your Honor, as previously indicated on the record, when the court had earlier taken up this matter, my notes from the May 15th hearing before Judge Crum would appear to indicate that the defendant was specifically ordered to appear at the Sally Port, that there may have been certain technical issues at the time, and notwithstanding the court's orders concerning booking and processing, as this is a case that does appear to have
I will be down there today. As soon as I get dressed, I will.
Don't you interrupt him, Mr. Luginbill. You've interrupted me repeatedly. Now you're interrupting Mr. Regier. We don't do that. We follow decorum. Mr. Regier. Finish, please.
Yes, ma'am. You've always been fair with me. Butler County.
Stop talking. Stop
I'm
talking.
sorry.
Mr. Regier is going to talk now. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. as I was saying, this is a case that pursuant to the information does appear to allege multiple Class B misdemeanors and in addition to Judge Crum's orders from the previous hearing, I am showing an affidavit which would appear to indicate, quote, that as of July 3rd, 2024, the defendant failed to report to the Butler County Detention Facility as directed by the court to be processed and released. And it would also appear that the original first appearance hearing on this case was 2 months to the day. So with that being said, the state will respectfully defer to the court as to how it wishes to proceed. It would appear that the orders previously ordered by district court judge are quite clear in this matter.
Quite clear. And he violated both of them. And this is a marijuana paraphernalia case suggesting the defendant was driving, wandering around the fog line on Santa Fe Lake Road back on November 8th of 2023. I just wonder, and I don't want you to answer this, Mr. Luginbill, but I just wonder if you're maybe on that marijuana today. But that's just a comment. Don't answer it. I don't even know if you were taking marijuana the day of the stop, but that's what the allegations are. Only time and evidence will answer that. But yes, you need an attorney. That's something you should have mentioned to Judge Crum 2 months ago. What kind of work do you do?
I'm retired, ma'am. I want a fixed income, and it's not very much.
What are you retired from?
Pardon me?
What are you retired from?
Spirit and Boeing.
Spirit and Boeing.
I
And you're
make
retired from-
$1,800 a month.
Say that again, please.
$1,800 a month.
$1,800 a month.
Half of what I used to make.
All right, so you knew where we were going. You know how we do this. What do you pay for rent and mortgage?
I paid it off because they're trying to repossess my home.
You paid it off so they wouldn't repossess your home?
Yes, ma'am. I took a hell of a beating on my VIP. I pulled out $50,000.
Haven't you and I had a conversation about this before? Have I seen you on other charges?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
You have not.
Well, the record that I have on my computer goes back to 2012 involving you, but let's move up to something a little more recent, 14, 15. We've got 2018 speeding and insurance dismissed. 2019 supervision of ignition interlock after DUI. So you've had a DUI in there somewhere.
Excuse me?
2021. Okay, so you were a witness in a Joseph McAdoo and a Jonathan Denton. And then in 24 is the case before me. And then in 24 also is, it looks like pending a speeding and a seatbelt charge with the first appearance September 18th of 2024. So have you gotten notice of that new court date?
December the 18th of 2024. What do you mean? Huh?
Well, it says that on June 26th of 24, you evidently got a speeding citation and a seatbelt citation.
I didn't know it was a seatbelt citation, but I know it was a speeding ticket.
And did you know that speeding ticket?
A state trooper. A state trooper?
Did you know that ticket tells you to be in court see, what did I say?
September.
Looks like he has a court date. Confirm that for me, Savannah, on September 18th to 24th for a new case.
Yes, ma'am. I thought I could just pay it by then, so I understood what he said. I didn't know.
Alright, you've got a warrant out for your arrest.
Oh, ma'am.
So do you want them to come pick you up, or can I trust you to turn yourself in? I
If
haven't
you
been
got
able
a
to trust you on anything yet.
pardon me?
I haven't been able to trust you on anything yet, so maybe I just need to have them go pick you up.
No, I can get a ride there or something, I guess.
I really can't trust you, Mr. Luginbill. I guess
Ma'am,
it's
I
just,
give you my word. Everything's screwed up. I got diabetes and I got arthritis real bad. I fall every day. I can't hardly walk or nothing. I have a hell of a time. I do. I
sounds like
swear
it.
to God.
But yet you allegedly get out in your car and drive and take marijuana. Well,
No, I don't take marijuana very often because Dr. Varner, which is
all
your
right. Where
coroner,
is your office? Or where is your home?
it's in Douglas, Kansas.
And is your license valid? Is his license valid? Can he even drive right now, Mr. Regier?
Pardon me?
No, not you.
No? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Do you have a valid license?
Until September, it expires.
Is there anyone with you there who can drive you to court?
Pardon me?
Is there anyone with you who can drive you into the courthouse?
Huh? Go, Kevin can't. Yeah, probably.
Who's Kevin?
Yes. Yes. A friend of mine that does all my labor and everything.
What's
I can't do
Kevin's
shit.
last name?
I don't know.
Deputy Caulfield,
Yes, ma'am.
can you see if there's an officer in the Douglas area that can escort him up here?
Yes, I will. What's the
Right.
address?
Okay.
205. I'm sorry.
You're gonna stay there and I'm gonna send an officer for you. Because I don't know if your intentions are good, if you're confused, if you're just deliberately violating orders, but
I didn't
you
deliberately do it.
need an officer to assist you, and that's to comply with court orders. So I am ordering you to stay put until we see if an officer can be down there and escort you to court.
Okay, I'll get dressed. I don't want them on property. I'll meet them at the road.
Well, you can get dressed. I'd urge you to do that, but don't you go running off or getting Kevin to run you off. Any word, deputy, from that, or do you need some time?
Yeah, I
Ma'am,
hadn't,
I swear
I
to you,
hadn't
I'm
asked
there
you.
tomorrow.
What was that address again? 205?
And I apologize to you. I didn't try to hang up on you.
Well, it was one of the clerks you did. You did a couple months ago and you did again today, so. All right, we're gonna be in recess on Luginbill. Prior orders standing, Mr. Regier.
Very good, Your Honor.
All right. Being in recess on Luginbill, Mr. Patterson, are you ready to proceed on some of yours?
Judge, I am ready to proceed on all of them except for Ashley Smith. I would need to do a breakout room with Ashley Smith.
You might want to visit with Ashley Smith because she's been in bed and she's had some issues. So if you would mind, go ahead and visit with her. I'll do another couple of pro
Very
se.
good. Thank you, Judge.
All right, Ashley Smith, look for your breakout room. And let's see here who we have that's pro se. Well, there was Dale Luginbill on the record. In Davis, 2024 TR 272, State of Kansas versus Lashawn Marie Davis, with Devin Canfield for the state, Darren Patterson for the defendant, who also appears in person on driving while suspended after prior conviction. Mr. Patterson.
And Judge, I would have the same or similar request on this one. Her first appearance, as I have read it, appears to be May 8th, 2024. So I've just been working with her a short time, and we're working on getting her driver's license sorted out.
Any objection to continuing this to September 23rd, Mr. Canfield? I'm sorry, Mr. Patterson, were you trying to say something?
I apologize, Judge. I was just trying to let the court know we are actually asking for continuance. Thank you.
Somehow I figured that. Imagine. And your response, Mr. Canfield?
No objection, Judge.
And Savannah, September 23rd at 9?
That works.
All right, September 23rd, Miss Davis, 9 a.m. That's another condition added to your bond.
Yes, ma'am.
And I do have some failure to appear, so make sure you don't do it again. We'll be in.
When did I have a failure to appear on this?
It says May 6th, the 2024. No, it was May 8th, 2024. You failed to appear.
I think that's when I came late to the Zoom.
Well, my notes say you failed to appear.
I did
And
not.
my notes also say that your bond was set at 1,500 cash or surety.
No, I showed up on that court day.
And then May 8th, later in the day, you did show up. You said you forgot what day it was. You called the clerk's office, so they gave you the Zoom codes.
Yes, ma'am.
And I took your case up again and appointed Mr. Patterson. And you were ordered to go out and get booked and processed. And I changed your bond from cash or surety to OR. And I don't see that you ever went out and did that, did you?
No, I've been having transportation issues. I have somebody that's going to
All
take me
right,
today.
right there we have a problem because you failed to appear when you're ordered to appear. I let you come in late and I set aside your cash bond and let you go out and make an OR bond and then you didn't go. So we've got a real problem. You've still got an active warrant. Because you didn't go out and take care of your warrant like you were
I've been
supposed
trying to
to.
find a ride. I don't have any transportation and I'm
All
not
right, where do
driving.
you live? I'll go get a police escort for you too. Where do you live?
I live at
What town are you in?
Wichita, Kansas.
Deputy, can you get her picked up on her active warrant? Give her a ride into town, have law enforcement?
Well, I can have somebody take me.
Now, you told me you didn't have a ride.
No, I just said I didn't have a ride at first. I just said I was going to have somebody try to take me today.
So
had a
you
hard
didn't have a ride on May 8th.
Because me and my
And you've had until July 5th, stop. You've had until July 15th, but you didn't go take care of it. So that means it was willful? You had a ride this whole time? You just were willful?
No, me and my acquaintance had gotten into it, the one that's giving me a ride, and we just reconciled. So we were actually into it.
You're not being candid with me, Miss Davis.
No, I'm being 100% honest. I swear.
Because you did not have a ride to take care of your bond until I said I would send the police for you. And then all of a sudden you magically have a ride. You're not being honest.
Ma'am, I said that before that.
All right. So deputy, she needs picked up on her warrant unless she can get herself turned in first. So
Okay.
if you could contact Wichita and have them go pick her up, she needs a ride. So if she doesn't get herself turned in at the Wichita Police Department right away, then I'm gonna have
Where
a
would I need
deputy
to go?
go get you.
Where would I need to go? Like, I'm just trying to make
Well,
sure I go to.
where's your local sheriff or local police? I mean,
I'll go to a local police station.
that's where one turns himself in when they have an active warrant. Yes.
Okay, I didn't know if I needed to come down to Butler County or.
You can turn yourself in. You can go turn yourself in at any law enforcement. They've all got the warrant.
Okay.
Deputy, if you would confirm that that warrant is in the file.
I didn't receive notification that I had a warrant, so I didn't know.
Your Honor, I don't show an active warrant.
Well, that you're not showing that W on the file? That red W?
Please. It's in a different county.
You're not showing she made her bond, right?
No,
I'm showing an active red warrant. Maybe the file's not updated, but I don't know how it could be if,
Judge, she has an active warrant, just not in this case. She has an active warrant in Shawnee County. That has not.
okay. Miss Davis, you stay on this screen.
Yes,
Don't
no,
you
my phone keeps,
Oh,
closing
no,
down.
no, no, you get a cord and you plug that thing in. Deputy, get a warrant, get an officer to go pick her up.
Okay, that was,
Yes, it is, sir.
And I'm issuing a bench warrant because she didn't turn herself in on that last warrant I issued. So I did set the active warrant with the cash or surety aside, but she still had to go out on the 2500 OR and she didn't. And she's
I
had.
didn't know I didn't
she's-
know I had what did my phone keep closing up for? Jesus Christ. Oh, I'm sorry.
Excuse me, you don't need to be doing that on court. That's not appropriate language. Now, May 8th, 2024, you failed to come to court. I issued a warrant and I set your bond at 1,500 cash or surety. You did not come in until later in the morning or the day. I set the warrant aside with the 1,500 cash or surety, but I made it clear I was transferring that to a 2,500 OR on the condition that you went out and got your picture and prints taken. You were supposed to go into a breakout room and set a hearing or a time to get that done. Did you do that? Did you go into the
Yes,
hearing
ma'am.
room?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, but then when the time came, you didn't go out and get your picture and print taken, did you?
No, ma'am.
Because you didn't have a car. Right.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
And that's been, that was from May 8th to July 15th. You apparently haven't had a car because you didn't go out and get it done.
No,
But when I
ma'am.
said I'd get you a ride today, you all of a sudden had a friend with a car. But I want you to stay put. Don't leave this hearing.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. We'll be in recess on Lashawn Davis. We'll take that up again a little later, Mr. Patterson. People need to start respecting the order of the law, the order of the courts. And 3TR 291, State of Kansas versus Ashley Nicole Smith. Devin Canfield for the state, Darren Patterson for the defendant. Ms. Smith, will you please start your audio and video? Ashley Smith.
Hello.
Hello, there you go. Mr. Patterson, your client, as you know, is charged with no tag and no insurance. How does she wish to proceed?
Your Honor, when announced this time pursuant to plea negotiations, she will enter a plea of no contest to not having proof of insurance.
That's count 2. Mr. Canfield, that's your agreement?
It is, and for the court's information, an amended information was filed on July 10th of 2023. Count 1 was dismissed.
It's already been dismissed. Okay. So, Ms. Smith, how do you char or plead to the remaining count 2, driving without proof of insurance?
No contest.
By pleading no contest, you mean you're not admitting the charge, but you don't want to deny it either?
No contest.
You don't want to go to trial. Is that right?
That is right.
Is anyone making you enter this no contest plea today by threats or promises other than any plea agreement?
Nope.
And you know there won't be a trial and you'll be found guilty. Is that right?
Okay.
Was that to me? You said okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Canfield, a factual basis?
Should this case proceed to trial, the state would show through testimony or other evidence that on or about January 22nd of 2023, the defendant, Ashley Smith, was driving a 2023 Kia Sportage on Highway 54 headed west. It looks like mile marker 230. At that date and time, while driving, the defendant did not have valid insurance.
All right, I find the defendant's plea is knowingly and voluntarily made and the factual basis supports it. Finding the defendant guilty, recommendations for sentencing, Mr. Canfield.
State would recommend a fine of $50, a 30-day underlying, suspended for 6-month non-reporting, as well as any costs or fees.
I'm sorry, I thought you pled to the no insurance.
I apologize, Judge. Yes. On the insurance, it is a $300 fine, a 4-month underlying, 6-month non-reporting. Thank you.
Okay. Anything further, Mr. Patterson?
Judge, would ask court to adopt recommendations. I am appointed in this case.
Very well. Where do you work, Ms. Smith?
I don't work
Why?
because I'm dying.
In other words, you have health reasons that keep you from working?
Yes.
All right, I will waive your attorney fees, but your insurance is $300 and your court costs are $108 for a total due of $408. Your jail sentence is 120 days. I will suspend that and not make you serve that, provided you're successful on a 6-month non-reporting probation. That means you don't have to see a probation officer, but you have 2 things you have to do. You cannot violate the law is the first thing, and you have to pay $408, which is the second. How much time do you need to pay the $408, or can you pay that today?
I can pay $75 a month.
All right. That may make you extend your probation.
I might be able to pay it off sooner. I can't guarantee anything.
I'm going to give you 120 days to pay that.
Okay.
If you don't have it paid in 120 days and you need to set it for hearing, what I will look at is how much you have paid and what kind of good faith effort you've made. If you haven't paid a substantial portion of it, I probably won't show you much pity for it. But if you at least try and do your best, I will look at that. But you're not going to get off of probation if you don't have that paid, and your probation could be revoked. You could go to jail or reporting probation. If you don't have it paid, you could have a collection agent after you. You could get another suspension on your driver's license or a suspension. So it's pretty important that you take care of this, but it's most important that you do not violate any more laws. Don't be driving out there with insurance, because bad things can happen if people have collisions in cars and they don't have insurance. Worse things can happen than what happened in addition to the car wreck. So anything.
I just rolled my truck, so I don't have a vehicle anymore.
All right, well, don't drive anybody else's either, and don't violate any other kinds of laws. If there's nothing further, counsel, count 1 is, you said already dismissed, I believe you said.
Yes, Judge.
All right, nothing further, then Ms. Smith is excused from these proceedings. She may go at this time.
Thank you.
You're welcome, thank you. Mr. Patterson, Deton Whiteside.
Yes, Judge.
On the record in 2024 TR 329, State of Kansas versus Deton Bryce Whiteside, Devin Canfield for the state, Darren Patterson for the defendant, Deton Whiteside, who also appears in person on operating without a tag and liability insurance. Counsel, how do you wish to proceed?
Your Honor, I would announce at this time pursuant to plea negotiations, Mr. Whiteside did provide proof of insurance, leaving the count 1 expired tag. To that charge, Mr. Whiteside will enter a plea of guilty.
Very well. Mr. Whiteside, how do you plead to count 1, operating without a valid tag?
Guilty, Your Honor.
And are you pleading guilty because you in fact did drive a vehicle without a tag through Butler County on August 23rd of 23?
Yes, Your Honor.
And where were you doing this driving?
Well, I was in the Locust Trailer Park of El Dorado. I wasn't even on a public road, but I was driving.
But it was open to the public and the
It
trailer
was
park?
it's a private lot, but I was still driving.
But it was open to the public. Other members of the trailer park could drive through there and
Yes, ma'am.
you could, all right. Anybody making you enter this plea today by any threats or promises?
No, ma'am.
And you understand that if I accept this plea, there will be no trial. You will be found guilty and unable to appeal that conviction.
I understand.
All right, I accept your plea and find you guilty of count 1, dismiss and count 2, or it's already been dismissed. Mr. Canfield, recommendations?
Your Honor, the state would recommend a fine of $50, a 30-day underlying suspended for a 6-month non-reporting probation, and costs and fees. And I would just note for the courts, this is resulting in a plea today, but I do have an affidavit from the jail that the defendant has not been out to the jail to be booked and processed.
And
Okay,
that is on.
you've already violated an order. How can I trust you to follow any of them if I grant you probation today?
Well, that's just going to be on your own recognizance. I apologize for missing that. I had an appointment set for a week after the court and I ended up going on the road on a job and I totally spaced it. And that was on my fault.
So if I were to grant you probation, you might go on the road and space out the rest of
No,
your.
because I've started a job that's more stationary just this last week. So I'm not going to be traveling.
Well, I find there are people that honor and respect the law and orders, and then I find there are people that really don't pay much attention to it. And if you haven't paid attention to it now, I'm afraid you may not pay attention to any I make hereafter today.
Well, that's on your own choice then.
No,
sorry
no,
for missing
that's you. You put that on me. You made me have that decision. All right. Mr. Patterson, did you have anything else you wanted to say about sentencing?
Judge, we would just ask the court to allow time to pay.
Where do you live, Mr. Whiteside?
I live at
Okay, well, I'm familiar with your name. It's not your first time through the system, right?
No, ma'am.
2007, things start happening. Traffic starts in 2008. You have definitely been in the system long enough, Mr. Whiteside, not to be spacing stuff out, because with the kind of history you have, I don't normally even grant probation. I mean, Mr. Canfield probably doesn't have in front of him this long history. But I'm going to go ahead and give you another chance, but it probably will be your only chance. Are you still with me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'll go with the recommendation for a $50 fine and a 30-day sentence since it is a tag violation. And your court costs are $108. You've been talking about your job, so I know you're employed. $250 of your attorney fees for a total due of $408. And I'll grant you a 6-month non-reporting probation. How much time do you need to pay the $408?
Well, I'm on my first week, so I need at least 4 months because I've got a lot of fines and a lot of other.
You have other cases still, you're still dealing with some of these other cases?
Yes, ma'am. I sure am.
All right. Do you think you're about ready to put all this kind of law breaking behind you?
I'm ready to leave Kansas. As soon as I get off probation, I'm leaving to Missouri. I sold my house 2 years ago, and I've been stuck here on probation, and I haven't been able to leave my property and build a house. I know I've been in trouble here, and it is a small town, and it's hard for somebody like me to clear their name. In other,
Is it that it's hard to clear your name, or people know you and when they see you driving illegally, they pull you over because they know you're illegal?
oh yeah, I'm pretty well known.
Well, if you're not giving them reason to pull you over, they can't do that. And if you don't change some of your ways, you may find the same problems in the next state. Maybe. I just hope that you're gonna get tired of being in court and put all this behind you, and wherever you end up, be it here or be it in another state.
I'm probably going to be in the grave if I get any more fines. I can't even afford to eat.
Well, I'm going to give you the 120 days to pay them. Your probation is 6 months non-reporting, but if you don't pay those, you know the drill. You're going to have a collection agent. You're going to maybe have another suspension on your license. You could serve this 30 days in jail. So I'm hoping that you're going to change all of this and start living the rest of your life without all this headache on you.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Anything else we need to, oh, yeah, I said 120 days. Mr. Canfield, anything else?
Judge, I would just ask that it be a condition of probation that the defendant go be booked and processed.
Oh, yes, you have not done that. Do I need to send a ride for you today, Mr. Whiteside?
No, ma'am. I contacted an officer last night and have plans to go there today.
Okay, you are in El Dorado, you said, right?
Yes, ma'am. I have plans to go to the police station on Stone Road and get it taken care of today.
All right, you go into court security too in a breakout room and confirm all that with them, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
If you don't do that, that's a condition of your violation or your probation that you do that. You have 3 conditions: don't violate any law, pay within 120 days, and get processed. If you don't want to lose your probation, you do those things. Court security too, would you please visit with Mr. Whiteside just for good measure, make sure he's squared away or gets squared away before he gets in any more trouble?
I can, Your Honor.
All right, Savannah, would you put them in a breakout room, please?